What's up guys? In today's video I'm going to teach you and I'm going to show you how to create an Emma bot. This Emma bot is going to be incredible because it is going to have also a trailing stop. So yeah, let's get to that. First of all, as always, here in my GitHub you have the bot. So you come here to the trading bot repository, then to MQL5, and here you have to open the emmabot.mq5, and here you have all the code that I'm going to develop right now. So yeah, this is the code and I recommend you checking the code if you have problems or whatever. But yeah, let's start with how do we do this. First of all, we have to come here to the MetaTrader 5 and we have to click on the IDE symbol. We click here and yeah, this is the bot already made, but yeah, I'm going to do it right now. So how do we do this? First of all, you have to click here on new, expert advisor, and here you give it a name. So for example, we are going to call it Emma bot. That's it, that's right. And yeah, you don't click anything else. You just continue, and then finish. We are going to delete all this. And yeah, let's just start by the beginning. What is the first thing that we have to do? First of all, we have to define the function on init. And what is this function doing? This function is going to execute the code that we put here every time we start the bot. So yeah, only at that moment the function is going to be executed. But what should we do here? Here we should load some things. And for example, since we are going to use Emma's indicators, we need to load indicator handlers. But how do we do that? First of all, we need to declare some variables. Let's declare this one, which is going to be the handler for the slow Emma. We are going to declare also this other one, and this other one, this is going to be for the medium, and this is going to be for the fast Emma. Okay, so now we have to initialize these values. How? We come here and for example, let's take all this, and since we are going to load an Emma, we need to use the function IMA, which will give us the handler for this moving average. That's what MA means, moving average. So now we need to give it a name, the name of the symbol. So for example, if we put this here, it means that it doesn't matter where we are, that if, for example, I put the bot here, it will take this name automatically. That's what this symbol is very useful for. And the same happens for this, which is the period. So here I am in the 1 hour period and the bot automatically will take that he is in the 1 hour period. Okay, perfect. And then we also need the period of the moving average. So for example, this is going to be 200 and we don't want any shift. The method is going to be Emma. So we put mode Emma and we want to apply it in the price close. Perfect. So now we have to do exactly the same for these other two. So we can take this, and we can copy it. But since the medium is going to be different, so we are going to put here medium, and we are going to put here fast. And of course, we have to give it another period. So for example, here we can put 50, and here in the fast we can put 14, for example. So yeah, we save, and okay, let's continue. What else do we have to do? We are going to use arrays to store the information of those indicators. So let's declare those arrays. Since the indicators give us information such as this. And this information is a double. You can see that here we have 53.32. That is a double. So we need an array of doubles. So for example, I'm going to put here Emma's low, and this is how we declare an array. So here in this variable, we are going to have several values. So then we put here medium, not in capital letters, medium, and finally we put here fast. Okay, perfect. So now we need to initialize these arrays and we need to make them as a series. So for that we are going to use array set as series. We need to give the array, so for example Emma's low and here true, and we need to do the same for the other arrays. So for example, here we put medium and we put fast. Perfect. Finally, we are also going to need to load the candles. So for that, I'm going to do this MQL rates and yeah, an array of candles. And here we don't need to load any handler or anything. We just need to set this array as a series. So for example, we put here candles and this is perfect. So now we finish with the onInit function, and this is going to be whatever is executed. Well, this is going to be executed every time we initialize the bot. But on every tick, on every change of the price, we want to do something. So what is the name of the function that changes something, does something on every change? That function is the onTick function. Okay, perfect. So yeah, here is where we should start loading all these values. The values for the EMA, the medium, the fast, the candles, etc. So how do we do that? In order to copy the data from an indicator, we need to use the function copy buffer, and we need to give it the handler. So for example, EMA slow h. Here the buffer number. This is important. Look, you can see that this indicator only has one value. So if you put the 0, you are going to take this value. For example, this other indicator, which is a moving average, it also has only one value. So if you put a 0, you are fine. But you may have this other indicator. So for example, let's put a MACD. Yeah, whatever. Okay. You have now here two values. So you have to be careful, because the 0 may be this red line, or maybe that red line is the 1. So you have to check that. And in order to check that, for example, let's go to the documentation of the iMACD. If you press F1 here, you have the information. And here, for example, you can check that this node is saying, okay, 0 is the main line and 1 is the signal line. But you also have this as a macro. So for example, here, instead of putting a 0, you can put here main line. But yeah, we're going to put a 0. So yeah, that's very useful. And now let's continue with this. We put a 0. Starting position, we want to take values from the last candle. So in order to take values from the last candle, you need to put here a 0, because this is the candle 0, this is the 1, this is the 2, the 3. So yeah, we need to put a 0. Now, how many do we want? Let's say that we just want 3. And now we need to say, okay, where do you want to store the values? We want to store them in the EMA slow array. Perfect. Now it is the same for the other two. So for example, this is the medium and this is the fast. And again, this is the fast and this is the medium. Perfect. But yeah, what else do we have to do? We need to also load the candles. How? We are going to use, in this case, not copy buffer. We need to use copy rates. And it's very, very, very similar. So for example, here we need to put, okay, give us the symbol, then the period. Well, it's very similar to this one, but yeah. Now we need to say the starting position. And as I said before, we want, since the first candle, well, the last candle, so we put here a 0. The number of candles that we want. So for example, we're going to put here a 3. And then we need to store this in an array. In which array should we store this? Here. So we come here and we put it, candles. Perfect. So now we should define the conditions in order to open operations. So for example, when are we going to open a sell operation? When there is a sell cross. Okay, if there is a sell cross between the fast, the fast and the medium, we are going to open an operation. Also when the price is above the slow. So let's put here is above slow. These are functions that we will define later. And finally, when the price is, well, this is a sell, so when it's going down. So is going down. So yeah, how do we implement this? But first of all, let's do the same, but in this case for a sell, well, for a buy. Else if there is a buy cross and the price is, well, here it should be below. Let's put here below and it's going down. Okay, perfect. And this is above slow. And finally is going up. Okay, perfect. We are going to define things. Now we should define the functions, well, the logic of these functions, but this is very simple. So for example, I'm going to do 1 or 2, and then I will do the other fast. So for example, we can take this one, the cell cross, and yeah, how do we actually detect a cell cross? Okay, let's put here that this is a function that returns a bool because this is true or false. How do we detect that there is a cell cross? So for example, the medium is aligned like this, and the fast is a line that is above, but at some point the fast is under the medium. So in that case, it means that there is a cell cross. So we need to detect that at the beginning the fast is above, and later the fast is below. So how do we do this? Return, and we are going to put here that the EMA fast, the previous one, is above the medium one, but later, and so if this happened before, now we want the opposite. So we want that now in the actual one, the last value of these indicators, it is the other way around. So you see, in the previous one, the fast is above, but in the next one, in the actual one, the fast is below. So it means that there was a cross. So yeah, for example, let's do one for the buy, and yeah, and I will do this fast, but yeah. So we can take this, well, basically the buy is almost the same. So we can come here, copy this, and yeah, we put here buy, and now it's the other way around. So for example, here, the fast should be below the medium, and then the fast is above. So yeah, we change this and we change this. And now let me define these other functions. Okay, I have done these functions, but now these ones are a little bit different. So for example, we are saying here is going down. So let me do this. I have put here a 3, but let's create a macro in order to have that value everywhere. And let's say that the buffer len, define buff len, it's just a name. We are going to put here this, a 3. So yeah, buff len is 3. So now this is buff len, and yeah, if we want to change the value, we just change it here and not everywhere. So yeah, now what we need to do is to define a function to check if it's going down. How are we going to define if something is going down, if the indicator is going down? That this value is bigger than this one and this one. That's how we are going to define that. And how do we define if it's going up? If this one is bigger than this one and than this one. Well, it's smaller than this one and than this one. Yeah, it's going to be very simple. So yeah, we are going to put here bool because we are also going to return a bool is going down, for example. And yeah, this is basically a for loop. So we are going to do for int, but in this case, remember the 0 is the last one. So if we want to check that it's going down, we shouldn't be placed at the last one. We should be placed at the first one that we have saved. So yeah, how do we do this? In it buff len, that's why I declare that, -1, perfect. And now we need to check this. Bigger or equal than 1, because we don't want to get to the 0, and you will see that in a moment. Okay, perfect. So now we need to say one thing. Okay, if okay, we are checking that we are going down. Okay, if the, let's say the EMA slow, the actual value that we are checking, okay, this one, which is the first one, is less than the next one, we have a problem. We are not going down. So we are going to put here EMA slow I -1, then the condition is not met, we return false. Perfect. And here we return true in case it doesn't happen anything. But yeah, that's why I put it here. I put here a 1, because let's say that we try to put 0 -1. We have -1 and this is a problem. We cannot access to the -1 value. So yeah, let's take this, all this, and let's do the going up, which is basically the same. So we put this going up, and instead of this we put this. So now we are checking that, okay, if the actual value, the first one, is bigger than the next one, is like this, we are not going up, we are going down. And yeah, perfect. So now we can continue with this. We need to now open operations. But in order to do that, we need to define, well, we need to declare and load some libraries. So for example, here, we need to load the library include from trade.mqh. Perfect. We need to import the seed trade, and we are going to create a trade object. Perfect. Now we also need a time flag, because we want that there is some time between operations. But yeah, so we put here time flag, and this is at the beginning is going to be true, so there are no issues opening positions at the beginning. And yeah, we compile. In case there is any mistake, you will see that here. And yeah, let's continue. Here we are opening a cell, so we should take the bit value. You can do this by putting here bit and symbol info double, and here we need to put the name of the symbol. Again, remember, we have this, we take the actual symbol and we are going to ask for the bit. That's it. This is very simple, but there is a problem. This bit, we are going to use it later to open an operation, and this may return a lot of decimals, and that is a problem. So how do we fix that problem? We are going to call the function normalize double, because it will normalize it and it will set the right amount of digits. So here we need to put how many digits we want, and let's say, hey, use the number of digits that this market is using. So for that we put here digits. Perfect. Now we need to open an operation, and how do we do this? Very, very simple. We are going to use the trade object, and here we are going to put, in this case, set. That's it, nothing else. So yeah, which volume? Put the volume that you want, but yeah, we are going to put 0.1. Here, the symbol, again. Then the price, the actual price here, the bid, perfect. Then the stop loss, do we want a stop loss? Let's say that, no, we don't want any stop loss. Well, let's put a stop loss, yeah. Let's put bid minus, for example, 100 points, the value of a point. Perfect. And we don't want that take profit, so yeah, we leave it like this. And now we just need to do exactly the same here. So we put it here, boom. And well, not exactly the same, we need to change this for ask. Here, instead of the symbol bid, we need to take the symbol ask. And here, it is not bid anymore, ask. And remember, here, why did I put a minus? Because well, this is wrong, by the way. So, what is the stop loss in a sell position? You open it here, the stop loss is above. So you have to put here a plus. And here a minus because it's below. But yeah, once we've done this, in order to not open an operation in the next tick, we need to use the time flag. And we need to say, okay, after opening a position, you're going to say time flag is equal to false. Perfect. Here as well, time flag is equal to false. Perfect. And now here, in this condition, you need to check always that the time flag is on, that yeah, you can open a position. So you put that this way, okay. And yeah, now, perfect. How do we change this time flag? Because now it's false, but hey, when do we put it back to true? How? When? It's very simple. Let's put a timer. So let's put event set timer, and how many seconds? Let's say that we just want a candle between the operations. So in order to take the value of how many seconds does a candle have in our time frame, we just put here period seconds. Perfect, and this will give us the amount of seconds in a candle. So for example, if you are in the chart of 1 minute, it will give you 60 seconds. If you're in the chart of 1 hour, 3,600 seconds. Yeah. And yeah, we need to do the same here. And okay, what happens when this timer is triggered. How do we handle this? How do we change this value? We need to go to this other function on timer, and once the timer is triggered, what we are going to do is that, okay, time flag is going to be equal to true, and another cool thing, which is going to be event kill timer. This is very important because one of you guys told me in the comments that, hey, if you don't put here, you're in trouble because the timer gets executed all the time. Let's say here that we put a timer of 60 seconds. Every 60 seconds, no matter what, the timer is going to get triggered. But we don't want that. We want to put, a timer of 60 seconds, and okay, once the 60 seconds have passed, we execute the timer once. So that is why here we have to kill the timer. We have to call this function. Okay, so let's check if it works. We click here on compile. We come now to the metadata 5. And here we are going to look for the tester strategy tester. We check the bot, we click here to the bot, we put the market that we want, for example, 1 minute, and let's check if everything works. You put here the visual mode, and yeah, let's click on start. So yeah, now we are seeing this, and there was an issue, okay, because it closed very fast. Here you have critical errors, array out of range in EMA bot. So here we have a problem. Okay, so the problem is here that I'm going backwards. So for example, I'm going from 2 to 0, but I'm not doing that. I'm going to 2 to going up. So I don't want that. I need to decrease the value, not increase it. So yeah, let's see if that fixes everything. Let's decrease the value. And yeah, let's close this. Let's open this again. And let's check. Okay, you can see that there is no issues. There is this is opening positions and all that. But you can see that it is not doing what we want. What I want this to do is that it moves the stop loss. It has a trailing stop. What I want this to do is that it moves the trailing stop, like it moves the stop loss. So how do I do this? So let's create a trailing stop for several positions in the same bot. But you have to take into account that I have already done this in a video, but yeah, this is very simple. First of all, here on every tick, we are going to check if we need to modify the stop loss. So we are going to call the trailing stop all function. This is going to move to move all the stop loss of the functions, but of the positions. But now we need to declare this function. So this is not going to return anything. And yeah, what do we do here? What we do is that we iterate over all the positions. So we put these positions total, perfect, and here we put I++, and now yeah, we are incrementing the value. Now what we have to do here is to get the ticket. And how do we get the ticket? We are going to put ulong ticket is going to be equal to position get ticket, and we need to send the index. The index is very simple. We put here an I. Then okay, what else? We need to create a specific function to modify the stop loss of this ticket. So how do we do this? We are going to put here trailing stop, but this is going to be specific, and we send the ticket. Okay, let me see if I'm able. Yeah. Now what else? Let's define this function. So yeah, it is not going to return anything. Trailing stop, it receives a ulong, and here we put ticket. Okay, what do we need to do in this function? Here we have to do several things. First of all, we need to try to select this. We need to put position select by ticket, and here we send the ticket. If this returns false, we need to go away of the function. What is this? You are going to see later that we are going to call some functions to get the information of the position, but we don't send never the the ticket. So yeah, it's very strange. We need to first select the position with the ticket, and then we can call those functions without any kind of issues. So yeah, what we need to get now is, let's get the current price. So for that, in order to get the current price, we are going to put here candles. Yeah, we take the last close. Well, not the last close, the current close, because for example, if this is moving, the close is also moving in only the last candle. So yeah, we need to also take the current stop loss, at which value did the stop loss came. So for example, let's put here double current stop loss, not came, like at which value did we establish the current stop, well, the current stop loss. So yeah, we are trying to get the value of the stop loss when we open the position. So for that, we put here position get double, and yeah, this is the position SL, which is the stop loss, not profit, SL, which is the stop loss. Okay, and now we need to get the value at which the position was opened, the value of the price. So here we are going to call this open, and we are going to say position get double and price open. Perfect. So yeah, we have these three things, and now we need to do one cool and hard thing. So we need to check some things. First of all, okay, if the current stop loss, let's say that we are in a buy, if the current stop loss plus a margin that we are going to establish, if the current price is between this range, we are not going to modify the stop loss. Like the stop loss is going to continue where it is. But if the current price is above, in the case of a buy, we are going to modify the stop loss. So how do we do this? First of all, we need to say, okay, if the current stop loss plus a margin SL that we are going to, margin SL, let's call it, we are going to establish right now. So how do we establish that? Input, it's an integer int margin SL. This is the amount of points that we want to establish for the trailing stop. So let's put here 100, and yeah. So now, if the current price is, in the case of a buy, less than this value, then we don't do anything. But if it is bigger, we do something. So we need to check if it is bigger. If this is, well, if the current, is bigger, current price, okay, we do something. But there can be an issue, and is that, for example, at the beginning, when we open the position, the stop loss gets established, and yeah, we don't want that when we, and yeah, what we want is that when we have some profit, we open that position. So for that, let's put here this, and open plus margin SL, and something very important that I forgot. Okay, so here we are adding 100, but I need to multiply this 100 by the amount of, well, the value of a point. So I put this here, I put this here, okay. And now we need to check if the current price is also above here. Current price, okay, the other way around, is above here. Okay, and I think that this is fine. Okay, but now I need to get also the type of the operation. So here we are going to put enum position type, and here let's put type. And yeah, let's get the position type. For this we need to do a cast, because the function that we are going to call, it returns an integer, and we say position get integer and position type. Perfect. So we have now the type, and let's say, okay, if the type of the operation is position type buy, this is for a buy, yeah, we do this. We modify, and let's modify now that we put here tray position modify. We need to send the ticket, so we have the ticket. Perfect. We need to send the new stop loss, and the new stop loss is the current price minus the margin by the value of a point. And the take profit, no take profit, so we put here a 0. Okay, perfect. We need to do the same, but in the case of a sell. So how do we do this? Okay, let me do this right. Perfect. Oh my god. So yeah, here instead of an if, we should put else if. And here we don't need to check the buy because, well, let's check if it is a sell. Let's put here a sell. So now here we say, okay, if instead of plus we need to put a less because now it's the other way around. So for example, let's say that the stop loss is here and the margin is now below because the current price could be here. We don't want the current price to be inside this range, we want it to be below. So here we have to change this and put, yeah, the other way around. Now here instead of open, yeah, well, instead of plus we need to put a less. And yeah, so okay, now we compile in order to check that everything is fine, but we have some errors. So here, for example, margin SL is not defined. Okay, declare identifier. Okay, here I'm wrong and I put margin. What did I put? Yeah, margin. This is margin. Perfect. And there's an I that I didn't declare somewhere. So for example, here this is other error margin. Compile here, name as expected. Okay, I, and that was the error. Compile, and yeah, everything is fine. Let's see if now everything works. So we close that. Remember to compile all the time, and we click on start again. And let's make this, well, yeah, let's go, yeah. Okay, so nothing is happening and that's a big problem, and it's saying that, hey, invalid stops. So maybe here, I forgot that, yeah, here is a plus, because the stop loss is above. So we compile again, we close this, let's close it, and yeah, we click on start. And okay, now everything is really fine. You can see that this stop loss is moving and the stop loss is moving for all the positions. So for example, let's see if there is another time where it opens. Yeah, so for example, let's check how many does it have. Yeah, only 2. But yeah, at least it's working fine, look. It's going all the way around, well, all the way down. And here, for example, we have a lot of them open. So for example, if it goes up too much, we will change that, and yeah, that's it. So this is truly very cool. I like it a lot. And yeah, that's cool because you don't have to worry if it goes up and yeah, you come to 20 loss. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you understood how to create this Emma bot. Like, this is very, yeah, it's better than the previous one that I did. And yeah, if you like the video, give it a like, share, subscribe, and see you in the next one.